I am Marasav, Queen of the Reef. I once made a great sacrifice to protect humanity from the Hive. I lost everything. My fleet. My brother. My people's very way of life. I watched the dreaming city fall into ruin. Desecrated by Oryx. Cursed by Savathun. Now I've returned to retake this sacred place, to finally wrest it free from the Hive's claws. Although you have taken things near and dear to me as well. You have also learned that your list of enemies need not be so broadly defined. Today we are afforded a unique opportunity. The road ahead of us is fraught with perilous choices, Guardian. Choose wisely.
Guardian, thank you for accompanying me. Ikora issued an order for Osiris's arrest. She has questions about his involvement in Lakshmi's attack on the Elixni. I volunteered to collect him from the Dreaming City where he now hides. No one will touch Osiris until I know the truth. He has acted rashly in the past, but I have never seen him willingly endanger the city. Something is wrong. I have felt it for some time now. He is distant. Help me bring him home.
I am making way through the opposite flank from you. The Hive are swarming. We will get the mighty crabs of old and pincer them. Break their lines and meet me at Osiris' signal.
That would be me.
What are you doing here, Word Brother? Did Zavala not send you away?
Osiris called me for help. With all these Hive around, I can see why. This reeks of Zebul wrath.
He called you. No, go home. This is not your fight to take. It is mine.
You can't keep him in a cage, Saint. You're not the only one who cares about him.
Lectures? You know nothing. Osiris is not himself, and I really want to bring him back.
Fumbling around in the overworld, old light? There's an awoken device near you. It should let you slip into the Ascendant Plane and get you closer to Osiris.
Crow and I used them to hide from Ratborn.
Stalk. We're stalking, not hiding.
Taken portals, awoken dimensions. Fine. Go, Guardian. Take the crow's path.
The Ascendant Plane should skirt you past the Hive's barricades. Just be sure to mind the Taken. Word to the wise. Bringing down Quria left the Taken rattled. I don't think Savathun has control of them anymore.
No matter. My bullets do not know the difference. Any Taken signals falling on you?
A big Wrathborn headed your way too.
Be brave. Osiris is not far ahead. Far ahead of you, Guardian. We converge on Osiris' signal.
Then we'll see each other soon. Crow out.
Whatever happens, friend, we cannot lose him. Even if I do not understand, I must believe his actions have purpose.
I had hoped you'd find your way back.
I'm a bit lost, actually. But this feels familiar. Do I know you?
Osiris? You must come home! Answer for what you have done! The Vanguard will show mercy!
Yes. Ikora and Commander Zavala are nothing if not generous. Queen Mara, look how they've welcomed the crow into their flock.
It isn't too late. You can still be forgiven.
Be careful. I'll hold you to it.
Lower your weapons. Osiris still lives.
You trust this thing?
This thing and I have come to an agreement. You need only cooperate.
What is it?
I am Savathun, the Witch Queen, sister of shapes, deepest in the Hive Coven, etc., etc. My sister Zivu Arath hunts me on behalf of another. I wish only to be free, and Mara Sav has graciously agreed to help.
And Osiris?
Sweet that you should care, little bird. I have been Osiris for as long as you have known him. But rest assured, I will return him safely to you, in exchange for your assistance.
Queen of Lies! Pray this is the one time you are telling truth. The Vanguard must know what has happened here. Stay, Guardians. I will go.
Someone once told me that the line between light and dark is very thin. Walk it alongside me. For Osiris. This will guide you. A powerful relic of awoken design. Take it and return to your helm. Approach, Guardian. Believe me when I tell you that I did not know of Savathun's deception until she arrived in the Dreaming City. She offered me a bargain. If I exercise her worm, she will release Osiris and help us defeat the Black Fleet. I recognize the risk. Her inevitable betrayal is all but a guarantee. But without her worm, Savathun is vulnerable, unprotected by the security of her throne world. Mortal. To separate Savathun from the parasite inside her, I need Techians, skilled awoken mystics. Few still live. Most were lost guiding my return to the Dreaming City when Zivu Arath ambushed us. But I can still feel their minds. The mystic compass you hold will reveal pathways to each lost Techion. Relight the pathways of the Ascendant Plane, and guide my people back to me. My wrath, Petravenge, will brief you further.
Queen Mara has already told you we must recover our lost Techians in order to free Savathun from her servitude to the worm gods. I will tell you how. Imagine the universe as a set of coins, stacked, one on top of the other. The top coin is our reality. The bottom, the Ascendant Plane. Between them lies an intermeshing of ever-shifting pathways, known as ley lines. Almost all the ancient pathways are now defunct, but beings of paracausal ability can navigate and rebuild them. This is the art of wayfinding. We know our lost Techians are stranded somewhere among the ley lines, and they're leaving us markers to follow. I'm forwarding you the coordinates to the first marker. It should tell us which ley line to look in. Then we'll use the blind well to tear open a rift and send you through to find them. Xivu Arath is desperate to capture her sister. Her forces, which now include the Taken, will attempt to stop you at every turn. Listen, I know your crow intends to accompany you. Mara also wants him close. Our Techians went to retrieve Queen Mara on my orders. This can't fail. Not because of him. Welcome back to the Blind Well, Guardian. It enables transit between this reality and the Ascendant Plane, using paracausal ley lines. Unfortunately, this gate opens both ways. Xivu Arath, Hive God of War, is trying to secure it for an invasion of the Dreaming City, so she can capture Savathun. We must hold this location at all costs. Glad to have you along, Guardian. Xivu Arath's forces have infested this area. Their Taken rifts are destabilizing the ley lines, making alignment impossible. Hold off the Taken as best you can. Once their leadership arrives, put them down and bank their Taken essence. That should close the rifts and secure the area.
Just like streams of water, ley lines can be polluted. Xivu Arath will use them to poison the Blind Well if she can. Stay vigilant.
We need to replace the batteries that charge the Blind Well's energy regulators. But first, we need to secure the area. Luckily for us, the batteries are charged with paracausal energy. They'll give you a useful aura against our enemies. It will take strength and teamwork to get this done, Guardian. Good luck.
Feels good to be back in the fight. I've been on the sidelines for too long.
From what I saw, the Guardian did all the work. Xivu Arath is sending her strongest lieutenants to secure the Blind Well. We can't allow them to establish a beachhead for the Hive.
Well done, Guardian. The Reef-born, thank you. If we are to survive the coming storm, the Tower and the Dreaming City must stand united.
We'll hold the Blind Well together. As we open more ley lines, we can start exfiltrating our lost Techians.
Once my coven is reassembled, we'll exorcise Savathun's worm and put an end to her lies. Once and for all. Behind the curtain of the universe lies the Ascendant Plane. Here, causality meets consciousness, and worlds are born. Go. Find our lost Techians and bring them home.
I'm noticing dimensional distortions in your ghost's readings. A beacon should be nearby. Beacon aligned. They'll have felt that. Be ready. I've never seen the Taken, Scorn, and Hive coordinate like this before. It's troubling. That's the last beacon. Sivu Araf's forces are converging on the area. Excellent work, Guardian. We couldn't have done it without you.
This place is a maze.
Which is why we establish guides, lanterns, beacons.
Geppetto tells me these are, nodes, and that they are connected.
Yes, by ley lines. They're like primordial currents you can navigate between worlds.
I see. Places share memories, have relationships. Just like us, they have seen so much.
Something like that.
I am at your mercy, Guardian. This construct protects me from those who wish me harm, from my worm's hunger. But it is a prison, too. Quite elegant, don't you think? I have only one regret, and that is how long it took me to reveal myself to you. I see your synapses firing. A specimen scarred by skepticism. They call me a liar. But we share mutual interests, you and I. If you believe anything I tell you, believe in that. Now, let me show you a different interpretation of the truth. Who is Savathun, you ask? You already know. Oh, Guardian mine. I am your friend. I tried to protect you from the Black Fleet. You called it interference. Don't worry. I was not offended. Instead, I found a form more pleasing to your eyes. Osiris was lost. Lightless. I saved him from Xivu Arath and assumed his shape so I could guide your victory against her. I ferried the reborn prince to your city so he could be redeemed. I protected Zavala from Kaido's ambitions, ending a war before it could even begin. I delivered the House of Light on its knees to Ikora. I unmasked the enemies lurking inside your city's walls and destroyed them. You may disagree with my methods, but you can't argue with results. I am no villain, and you are no hero. We are paracausal.
This is my fault. I invited her in. I convinced Zavala that we needed Osiris by our side. A dark pit looked back every time I met his eyes, and I told myself it was his grief. Savathun knew she could use that. The city is the last place Xivu Arath would have searched for her. Now, Saint is tearing the system apart, looking for the real Osiris. You and Crow will need to take point with the Awoken. I don't like it, but he wants to help, and he's earned some trust. It's his decision. We're in a downpour of revelation. I've been trying to analyze every drop of information, as if I could isolate them before they're washed away. There's so much I need to reevaluate, so much I need to do. Interrogate the Witch Queen while we have a captive audience. Our enemies often flirt with arrogance when they believe they've won. See if she'll let her true intentions slip.
I know you have reservations about my arrangement with Savathun. I feel it in your heart. For all her clever machinations, the Witch Queen did not anticipate your success in stopping Quria or the Endless Night. Her schemes unravel, and now she needs my protection from Xivu Arath, from the Worm Gods, from you. I have already learned much by observation. The Taken pursued her here. Taken she once controlled. Taken that now serve a new master. Or, if Savathun is to be believed, their original master. Not her brother, Oryx, but something far older. She fears it. It commands Xivu Arath to conquer the Ascendant space surrounding the Dreaming City, to use the Taken in her campaign against us. For now. Savathun claims that without the Taken, she cannot break the curse she placed on the Dreaming City. She thinks she can entice me with these half-truths and secret temptations, but she underestimates the lengths to which I will go to correct the past.
By stabilizing the ley lines, aren't we enabling Xivu Arath's forces?
We are. But we also enable our rescue efforts. Nothing is won without risk.
Quite the fighter, Petra. I'll be sure to stay on your good side.
I don't have a good side. And if I did, you wouldn't be on it.
Maybe you just can't see it because your good side is also your blind side.
Oh no. Nobody's more blind than you, Crow. Even I can see that.
Your trespass beyond the veil brings you closer to victory. Both mine and yours.
Are in alignment, and Xivu Arath's forces are in retreat. Let's bring our lost sister home.
There's something about this place that's just... I can't shake the feeling of dread. Like something out of a bad dream. And not just the time the High Celebrant threw me in that pit. It's like this place is haunting me.
Or you're haunting it. The Ascendant Plane is as much what you bring to it as it is what you see.
I knew you'd be back. I'm so glad we get to talk. You and that charming little ghost of yours, you're not like the rest. You're not afraid of my words. Words are just thoughts given shape. Ideas emerging into the physical world, birthed by a mouth. Not good or evil, not light or dark, or this or that. And you understand, don't you? despite the excruciatingly binary worldview of those around you. You don't have to say it. We've all heard it before. The line between light and dark is so very thin. As if you were incapable of lifting your eyes from a scroll of chalk on the ground. The traveler in the light near one foot, your old enemies and the darkness at the other. Let me tell you a secret. If you ever want to see what's been watching you since the very beginning, just stand on that line and look up.
We awoken were born of light and dark. Our perspective on the universe is a complex one. The light is not inherently good, as your warlords of the Dark Age so clearly demonstrated. In spite of Zavala's preconceptions, darkness is not inherently evil. Some among you already discovered this on Europa. In my travels, I have seen true evil. It is the worm gods that the Hive serve. It is the Black Fleet, waiting to strike. It is the entity that commands them all. The voice in the darkness. These creatures are not evil because they wield darkness. They are evil because, like Savathun and Xivu Arath, they are cruel, hateful things with no regard for the lives of others. Some might say that includes me as well. I will let history be the judge of my guilt. Before that judgment is cast, I will see my Techians returned. Perhaps with them I can save us all.
This place has such a unique vibration. The air hums with energy.
The paracausal forces that converge here are mighty. They will increase as you open more ley lines.
The Taken are massing for another attack. They just can't take a hint.
Xivu Arath won't let them. They're driven by an insatiable need to heed her commands.
I saw the same thing with the cryptoliths on the shore. So many minds ruined by her need to dominate.
The strong forcing the weak to fight on their behalf. It's the oldest story in the world.
The strongest Taken yield their essences. Retrieve them to close the rifts.
So, Pro, I heard you disobeyed a direct order from the Vanguard when you first pursued Osiris here.
Sometimes it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. Besides, the Vanguard isn't always right.
Is that so?
Zavala told me to stand down when Mithrax brought House Light to the city. But if I'd been there, I won't make the same mistake twice.
You sound like Lord Saladin.
Align the beacons, Guardian, and signal the way home.
It's over. The beacons have aligned and the rift is open. Bring our Techian home.
How did these tech witches come to be lost in the Ascendant Plane?
They were my escorts, ferrying me home from the far-off reaches. Zivu Arath found us in transit.
The far-off reaches of where? How did Zivu find you? Do you not have more witches?
You ask too many questions.
Yes, it is how I understand things. And I am owed answers.
Then I hope you'll soon become accustomed to mystery.
Osiris was like family to me.
You've never even met him.
I know. Just let me speak to Savathun, please.
No. I won't give that witch another chance to dig her claws into you.
Maybe she's right, Crow.
You know I am. Savathun is already in your head. You're a liability to the mission.
Why do you have such a problem with me, Petra? 5 minutes, that's all I'm asking.
The Queen of the Reef forbids it.
Well, I don't take commands from the Queen of the Reef.
Savathun unraveled the Dreaming City with a single wish. I've spent years trying to contain that mistake. Better men than you died because of it.
To my ear, it sounds like you're the liability. Maybe your queen's trust in you was misplaced. A knife against a hunter? I'd be more careful who you pick fights with.
Another step, and my Corsairs will have to prepare you a second grave.
Save it for the Hive, both of you. This isn't getting us anywhere. Thank you. We could all probably use a minute to cool off. Oh no.
Keep both eyes on that one.
You can't stop the inevitable. No one can. Though Petra Van seems perfectly willing to try. I've always sympathized with Crow, you know. All the kind words I shared with him as Osiris were sincere. I know what it's like to be in exile. To be hated for things outside of your control. It would be better for Crow if we talked. I want to explain why I did what I did. I want him to know that my affection is true. Because the less he knows, the more vulnerable he is. Doomed to be strung along by false promises from supposed benefactors. But then again, I'm the one trapped in the crystal prison. What do I know?
Venge thinks I'm vulnerable, and I'm supposed to just take a seat. Like I was the only one fooled by Savathun wearing Osiris' skin. You'd known him far longer than I thought I had, but I don't see her forbidding you from speaking to her. Because it's not about me. It's about who I was, isn't it? Every time the Vanguard tells me that things will get better, I thank them, as if it's a privilege not to be beaten to death. Our past lives aren't supposed to matter. I'm beginning to wonder why I'm the only Guardian being judged by mine. No more apologies. No more creeping around on eggshells. I deserve an audience with Savathun. I deserve to know how much of what she told me as Osiris was a lie. I deserve answers.
I don't need to be Marasov to see into your mind, Guardian. You think I'm making a mistake. You think I barred Crow out of pettiness. I won't say I didn't recommend it, but it was the Queen's order, for his own safety. I see Prince Uldren's arrogance in him, his desire to please. He's vulnerable. Uldren and your Crow are echoes of each other. Surely you can see that. They share kindred weaknesses. Savathun will exploit them again if we let her. But with Mara back, I can finally see the end approaching. It's been a long time coming. There are still Techians in need of your strength. I wish I could fill their place, but this must be how things are. I'm here if you need me.
Each ascendant beacon you reawaken reclaims a road once lost to me, broadens my sight. But my realm still aches. Savathun has done so much to destroy everything my people worked for. She stole my brother from me, twisted his mind, and delivered him to his executioners. Then she had the audacity to steal him from the Traveler, manipulate him, and lead him back home. It is strange, having him here. And yet not. Fro is a wounded bird, flinching away from me, so much like Aldrin, but lost without a guiding hand. Do you understand why I forbade him from speaking with Savathun? This reunion is such cruel kindness. I will find a way to repay her for it. And you will continue to bring me the Techians I need to do so.
I don't care what Marasov thinks. This feels like it might be a bad idea.
I'm worried too, but she has all the leverage. Without her, Osiris, the real Osiris, may be lost forever.
If he isn't already dead.
We need to have hope. Otherwise, I don't know what Saint has left.
Well done. We've detected the Lost Techian's location through the beacon network. Bring her home. Taken, Scorn, the Hive. Our true enemies aligned to a spearhead to halt our rescues of the Techians.
No mention of House Salvation or the Cabal?
House Salvation is in ruins. You saw to that. As for the Cabal...
I've been thinking about family quite a bit. What with all the spare time I have. It might surprise you to hear, but everything my siblings and I have done has been for each other. Even though the Vanguard isn't quite the same, they're no different at heart. You'd do anything for your family, chosen or otherwise. Go to any lengths to avenge them. Look at the Crow and Queen Mara. Siblings, bonded by cosmic fate, forever orbiting one another like binary stars. Mara reminds me of my sister. She's afraid, holding on so tightly because she can't bear to lose one more thing. But we all have to let go. When I am separated from my worm, I'll be separated from Xivu Arath too. And then my sister will be alone. The last of us. But as much as I care for her, I cannot stay like this.
We are surrounded. A ring of spears pointing inward from the edges of our system. The Black Fleet could have destroyed us, and yet they have waited. Why? Savathun knows more than she lets on. It is the only reason she still lives, and she is keenly aware of that fact. It is why Xivu Arath pursues her so relentlessly. For Xivu Arath answers to the same entity as the Black Fleet. We must uncover whatever secrets she knows with the time that we have. I must reiterate, she will try to betray us. It is all that a wretched, self-serving creature like Savathun knows how to do. She needs me to free herself of her worm, but after that, the blind well requires alignment. As you rescue my remaining Techians, continue your audiences with her. How did Mies Rax put it? We must all learn to live alongside our monsters. Though I suppose he never said for how long.
We've never seen Hive utilizing stasis. Don't you find that strange?
I've never seen a warlock pull out a golden gun either.
You may be a smartass, but you might also have made an unintentionally good point. Perhaps something about the Hive prevents them from wielding stasis.
I don't think anything is that simple. But I feel like when we try to understand the darkness, we come up short. We're children trying to understand why the moon glows in the dark. We don't know what we don't know.
It's over. The beacons have aligned and the rift is open. Bring our Techian home. Based on this latest expedition, Xivu Arath's forces appear to have gathered their strength.
Xivu Arath's title as the Hive God of War is no mere gilding. She earned it. She is a strategist and tactician. Her sister may be known for her cunning, but there is more at work here than a sword's edge.
When this is over, I wonder if Mara will uphold her end of the bargain and let me live. Killing me is probably at the top of your to-do list as well, isn't it? You've done a lot of killing over the years. Let me ask you something. Of all the enemies you've fought, how many saw your ghost and realized, that's why Guardians are so strong? Not most, but some. They might have even taken a shot at it. R.I.P. Cade. Now, how many saw beyond your ghost? How many followed the line of your light straight back to the Traveler? And how many knew enough to aim a weapon there? A few. The smart ones, the dangerous ones. You'd recognize their names. Listen to me now. Look beyond me to my worm. Look beyond my worm to something far, far worse. Then look down at that little gun in your hand and tell me, what do you think you're going to do with that thing?
My coven of Techians is almost assembled. Well done. Soon all there will be left to do is wait for the ley lines to fall into position. Then we may exorcise Savathun's worm and reclaim Osiris. She divulges more to you than I, Guardian. Though it can be difficult to separate poisonous words from the honeyed ones. I worry that the crow is especially susceptible. I feel the desire for approval in him, as I felt it in Uldren. And he idolized Osiris, almost as much as he idolizes you. Do not forget what has been asked of you. Until the ritual is ready, continue charting ley line passages. We are so close to bringing the last of my lost Techians home.
Clint, if you had to describe the way the spider treated Crow in a single word, what word would that be?
Well, the spider is a valued member of the shore's, ecosystem. I wouldn't want to offend.
The spider is not here.
Well, I would say horrible. He was horrible. He tortured Crow, demeaned him, treated him like a possession.
That's enough. I have all the confirmation I need.
Excellent work, Guardian. We couldn't have done it without you.
Crow, I didn't receive your latest report.
Yeah, I've had a lot going on out here, on top of getting the runaround from middle management.
That sort of attitude might fly out in the reef, but you will take your responsibilities as a Guardian seriously.
I will. I do. Sorry. I have a lot on my mind.
I know. Just remember, you don't have to bear that burden alone.
You were kind to me. I thought you were my friend.
Am I not?
You lied to me!
I helped you break Xivu Arath's hold on the shore, brought you to the last city, offered you guidance.
Stop.
If that's what you want.
I want the truth.
I was kind to you because I wanted to be. Because the truth hurts. You know this better than anyone. Shrinking away from the rumors of the man you used to be.
I'm not him.
How can you say that when you don't even know who he is? If the truth is what you really want, then lay your hand on me.
Crow, don't. Please.
See? Even your ghost thinks you're better off in the dark.
Crow,
Don't. Don't come any closer.
what did you show him?
Everything.
No, wait! You hurt him.
Someone had to. Better for it to have come from a friend. Don't give me that look. I told you that you can't stop the inevitable. Deep down, Crow wanted to know. He was going to find out one way or another, guardian taboos or no. You should thank me. Just imagine if it had come from someone with bad intentions. Someone who could have colored the truth about how he died to turn him against you. Against the Traveler. But I would never do such a thing. I see too much of myself in him. We were both looking for our purpose. Now that the Crow has found his as a guardian, he can see it for what it truly is. A second chance. Something to reflect on. If people didn't want him to know, was it to protect Crow from himself? Or was it to protect themselves from Crow? I do so enjoy our talks.
Uldren Sov, awoken prince, brother to the queen, murderer. Now I know the man I was. And you. I'm sorry. You did what you had to do. I don't think I would have told me either. Savathun's visions were like a waking dream. I could feel the heat of the flames, taste the blood in my mouth. I saw everything he did through his eyes. You're afraid of who I used to be, that he'll come back somehow. I am too. So I've asked Ikora to put me on another assignment. One where I can be somewhere I know my choices are my own. Tell Mara. Tell her whatever you want. I'll see you again when I'm ready.
When I first saw Crow, I looked into his mind. I did not see my brother's memories. Savathun dredged them from a place beyond my grasp when she revealed his past life to him. She suspects I do not mean to let her live once the separation ritual is complete, and is testing our patience. Perhaps she means only to hurt me. The risk of her cunning is too great, no matter her intentions. Until the conditions are right for us to exorcise her worm, I am restricting all access to Savathun. I will, however, afford you one last meeting to conclude your investigations before I seal her away. Steel your mind when you face her, Guardian. The Witch Queen is no less dangerous now than she has ever been. We have one last Techian to locate. Go forth.
Surrounded by terror, the dreaming city cries out. All this conflict, all this death, repeated in an endless feeding cycle to a god of war. Even this, battling to free Savathun from her worm, I fear we starve one threat to feed another. And yet I have no better solution. I just have hope. And that is, perhaps, the greatest terror of them all.
Excellent work, Guardian. We couldn't have done it without you.
Mara, your people are among the oldest in the system. You're survivors of the collapse. Could your Techian shed any light on the nature of the collapse? Assist the Vanguard in combating the Black Fleet?
Oh, Ikora. No. Whatever the Awoken were before we fell into the rift between light and dark no longer exists. Whatever we experienced of the collapse is an ephemeral dream, not driven by fact or logic, but seared in our hearts. And as one who has stared down the Black Fleet, personally, all I can teach is humility.
Preparations for Savathun's exorcism are underway, but the ritual can't begin without a cosmic alignment. It will take time. I want to express my gratitude for saving our new coven of Techians. They are young, with many years left to train. You've preserved their potential. Thank you. I tried to do the same for Crow, even if it pains my queen to see him leave. It's hard to imagine there's a safer place for him than at her side, but this is for the best. You saw what Savathun did to him. She could do more. Prince Uldren and I were friends once, you know. In our own strange way. I still think about him all the time. The sound of that gunshot. He's free now. To find his way between the stars. If only we could all be so lucky.
I've been keeping tabs on you. Your victories against my sister. The mess you've made of the Ascendant Plane while you rescued your third-string witches. Delightful to see so many working towards a common goal, isn't it? I'm glad I can again be the catalyst that brings humanity and the reef together. It's a pity Mara Sov doesn't see it that way. Her face is a perfect porcelain mask. But look behind her eyes, and you can see the incandescent rage burning within. She's very upset with me. This will be our last talk until the day of the ritual, O Guardian mine. Now that Marasov's coven is assembled, the only thing left to do is to keep Xivu Arath from ruining things while the ley lines fall into position. This may take some time, but I have waited millennia to be free. I can hold out for just a little bit longer. Farewell. For now.
The time is at hand. The beacons shine bright and the ley lines are set in place. My Techians are prepared to perform the ritual that will separate Savathun from her worm. Although she claims she will help us in our fight against the Black Fleet and the entity that commands it, she cannot be trusted. You have coaxed enough information from her for my purposes. I will do what must be done. But know that Xivu Arath won't let her sister, or her sister's worm, go without a fight. I call on you once more, Guardian. Your knack for violence is needed. Make your final preparations and head to the Dreaming City. We will see you when you arrive.
Guardian, thanks to your efforts, my coven is reassembled. Once the blind well is prepared, the ritual to exorcise Savathun's worm will begin.
The Hive are disrupting the alignment of the blind well. Realign the beacons to activate the ley line network.
The ley lines thrum with energy. All is in readiness. Assemble in my spire for the ritual. Look to the sky, Guardian. Hear the worm gods roar. After millennia of insatiable destruction, they are powerless against my retribution.
This is Xivu Arath's last chance to capture Savathun. She's dispatching all local forces to the Spire. Use the teleporters to join us as soon as you can. Corsairs to me! Fall back to the entrance! Hold this line to the last soldier! For the reef! Guardian, with the ley lines activated, Xivu Arath's forces are pouring in from the Ascended Plane. We're being overrun! Break through the hive lines!
Guardian, commune with us. The ritual is about to begin.
Hello, my love. Osiris admired your patience, but you look antsy to me. Having doubts?
Doubt is a useful tool, but double-edged. Do not let it lead you astray.
Ugh!
Leave him be, and keep to your promises, or I'll let him drag you into Xivu Arath's waiting jaws.
And then she would swallow you as well. Why must we threaten each other?
I am merely clarifying my intent. It is time. Yalaya, Sajari, Austin, and Savathun. We are sisters of circumstance, bonded by fate. Open those bonds to each other. Become one. Expel the parasite from our collective. This moment is simply the strike of a match The fires we light here will burn long after. Be ready.
Large concentrations of Xivu Arath's forces are closing in on our position. Protect the queens.
None shall enter!
Xivu Arath's forces are converging on your position. Defend Queen Mara and the Techians until the ritual is complete. As a last resort.
You're running out of time. I feel my sister bearing down on you.
Your family is tenacious, if nothing else.
No more than yours.
My brother spent years suffering punishment for the path you made him walk. Finally, justice finds its mark. Let this be the end of it.
Thank you.
Plans are fickle things. Two can view the same events and predict entirely different outcomes. I was outmaneuvered, and Savathun slipped through my fingers. I was sure that this path, these actions were absolute. But change is a prolonged effort. It requires application of steady pressure. There will always be backslides. Do not lose the summit in the climb. After Saint 14 returned Osiris to your tower, my Techians verified his identity. Savathun upheld her end of the bargain. And she did not escape unscathed. Her worm is mine. It will grant many insights, I am sure. The curse on the dreaming city can yet be broken. Go home, Guardian. Prepare for what is inevitably to come.
Osiris lives. Thank you, friend. Savathun tried to bury him, to use him like currency for bargaining. She wore his face and spoke with his voice, but they were not his words. I did not believe the Witch Queen would hold to her promise. I thought I would never see him again. He is lost in sleep. Without the light, it is difficult to know if he will recover. But he is safe. I need time, Guardian. I will see to Osiris's care. When he awakens, I want my face to be the first he sees. Perhaps I will joke that now we are even. Savathun has many enemies, but she has never faced Saint 14. We will find her, and this time, it is her who will be buried.